Imagine walking into a room without saying a word, yet every head turns in your direction, not because of what you're wearing, not because of how you look, but because of the energy you radiate, the quiet confidence, the effortless grace, the undeniable presence. What is it that makes some women truly captivating? What is that invisible force that draws people in, that lingers in their minds long after the moment has passed? It is not about beauty alone, nor is it about charm or intelligence. It is something deeper, something unseen yet powerfully felt. True attraction is an energy, a frequency, a vibration that extends beyond physical appearance. It is the way a woman carries herself, the way she moves through life with purpose, how she loves without losing herself, and how she creates a sense of mystery that makes people want to know more. Most people believe love and attraction are about chance, about being in the right place at the right time. But what if attraction is something you become? What if love is something you attract by the very essence of who you are? Today, we uncover the secrets that make a woman truly unforgettable, true radiance, the kind that captivates and draws people in effortlessly, is not something that can be faked, bought, or superficially created. It emanates from within, from the energy a woman carries, from the way she sees herself, and from the emotions she chooses to embody every single day. Many people believe that attractiveness is about external features, perfect skin, a well proportioned body, a charming smile, but those are only surface level attributes. They may catch the eye momentarily, but they do not create lasting magnetic attraction. What truly captivates is the essence of a woman, the way she walks into a room with an energy that makes people take notice, not because of how she looks, but because of how she feels about herself and the world around her. Everything in this universe is energy, including human beings. Science has shown that our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs generate electromagnetic fields that extend beyond our bodies. This means that the way a woman feels about herself is not just an internal experience, it is projected outward, influencing the way others perceive her. Have you ever met someone who wasn't conventionally attractive, yet there was something about them that made them impossible to ignore? They carried themselves with confidence, ease, and joy, and their energy was contagious. That is the power of inner radiance. It is an unspoken presence, a silent force that naturally draws others in. The secret to unlocking this radiance lies in emotional and mental alignment. A woman who is deeply connected to herself, who embraces her worth without seeking external validation, shines differently. She does not shrink herself to fit into societal expectations, nor does she overextend herself to gain approval. Instead, she moves through life with certainty, knowing that her value is inherent. This does not mean she is arrogant or detached. On the contrary, she is warm, inviting, and fully present. She is engaged in life, open to experiences, and emotionally available without being needy. When a woman cultivates a deep love for herself, she steps into a space where she no longer depends on others to complete her. She understands that relationships are not about filling a void, but about sharing her already abundant energy with another person. People are naturally drawn to those who are whole within themselves. Desperation repels, while confidence attracts. This is why a woman who radiates self love, who enjoys her own company, and who finds joy in her own presence will never have to chase love. It will find her. The mind plays a crucial role in this process. The thoughts a woman consistently entertains shape her emotions, and those emotions dictate her energy field. If she constantly tells herself that she is not enough, that she is unworthy, or that love is hard to find, her energy will reflect those beliefs, and she will unknowingly push away the very things she desires. On the other hand, when she begins to rewire her thoughts, when she starts affirming her worth, appreciating her uniqueness, and stepping into the emotions of love, joy, and gratitude, her energy shifts. She begins to attract people and opportunities that match her new vibration. Emotions like joy, passion, and gratitude are high frequency states. When a woman operates from these emotions, her presence becomes magnetic. She no longer needs to rely on external beauty standards to feel attractive because her energy is doing the work for her. People may not always be able to articulate what it is about her that draws them in, but they feel it. They feel safe, inspired, and uplifted in her presence. This is why it is essential to cultivate inner radiance daily. It is not something that happens overnight, but rather a practice, a conscious choice to nurture one's inner world. Meditation, self care, positive affirmations, and aligning with activities that bring joy all contribute to this process. When a woman makes the decision to prioritize her inner state, when she shifts from seeking validation to embodying her own worth, everything changes. The world begins to respond to her differently. The right people, the right opportunities, and the right experiences naturally gravitate toward her, not because she is searching for them, but because she has become the energy that attracts them. He realizes that love has been within her all along. Self love is the foundation upon which all fulfilling relationships are built. It is not just a concept, but a deeply rooted state of being that shapes the way a woman interacts with the world, the way she sees herself, and ultimately the way others perceive her. Many people misunderstand self love, thinking it means arrogance, selfishness, or an inflated sense of self worth. But true self love is none of these things. It is a quiet, unshakable knowing that one is worthy, not because of external accomplishments, validation, or appearance, but simply because existence itself is enough. A woman who truly loves herself does not wait for others to affirm her value. She knows it already, and this knowing becomes the foundation for how she moves through life. Attracting love from others begins with how one treats oneself. When a woman places conditions on her worth, when she believes she will only be lovable if she looks a certain way, achieves a particular goal, or is accepted by others, she sends a signal to the universe that she is not yet whole. This belief manifests in relationships as insecurity, neediness, and a constant seeking of reassurance. On the other hand, a woman who loves herself fully does not seek love as something external that will complete her. Instead, she sees love as something she already possesses, something that she can extend outward rather than something she desperately needs to receive. This shift in perception changes everything. People are naturally drawn to those who exude confidence and self assurance. When a woman carries herself with grace, when she does not second guess her worth or shrink to fit into someone else's expectations, she becomes magnetic. Her presence commands attention, not in an aggressive or demanding way, but in a way that makes others feel compelled to be near her. This is because self love creates a sense of emotional stability. A woman who knows her worth does not react impulsively to rejection, criticism, or temporary setbacks in love. She understands that these experiences do not define her value, they are simply part of the human journey. The mind plays a critical role in self love. A woman's internal dialogue, the thoughts she entertains about herself daily, shapes her reality. If her mind is filled with self doubt, harsh criticism, and comparisons to others, she will feel unworthy, no matter how beautiful, talented, or accomplished she is. On the other hand, if she consciously rewires her thoughts, choosing to speak to herself with kindness, affirming her strengths, and appreciating her uniqueness, her energy shifts. She begins to feel at peace with herself, and this inner peace becomes visible to the world. Emotional independence is another key aspect of self love. Many people enter relationships expecting their partner to heal them, to fill a void, or to provide constant validation. But when love is approached from a place of lack, it creates an imbalance. A woman who has cultivated self love does not need a relationship to feel complete. She desires a relationship as an extension of her already full life. This makes her presence refreshing because she is not seeking to take, she is seeking to share. She is not afraid to be alone because solitude is not something she dreads. It is something she embraces as an opportunity for growth, reflection, and self connection. The way a woman treats herself also sets the standard for how others will treat her. If she allows herself to be disrespected, neglected, or mistreated, it is often because deep down she believes that is what she deserves. But when she values herself, when she sets boundaries, honors her needs, and refuses to settle for anything less than she deserves, others naturally follow suit. Love is a reflection of the energy one carries. When a woman treats herself with respect, kindness, and patience, the relationships she attracts will mirror that same energy. Self-love is not something that happens overnight. It is a lifelong practice, a daily commitment to choosing oneself over and over again. It means showing up for oneself in moments of doubt, offering compassion in times of struggle, and celebrating one's journey without comparison. The more a woman embraces her own worth, the less she feels the need to seek approval from others. She no longer waits for love to arrive because she realizes that love has been within her all along. Emotional freedom is one of the most powerful and attractive qualities a woman can embody. It is the ability to release past wounds, let go of limiting beliefs, and step fully into the present moment without being held back by fear, regret, or emotional baggage. Many people carry unresolved pain from past relationships, childhood experiences, or societal conditioning, and this unprocessed energy influences the way they approach love and connection. A woman who has not freed herself from her emotional burdens may unconsciously seek validation, fear abandonment, or attract relationships that mirror her inner wounds. On the other hand, a woman who has done the inner work to release these attachments becomes light, open, and magnetic. She is not weighed down by the past, nor is she anxiously projecting into the future. Instead, she lives in a state of emotional clarity, and this clarity makes her presence deeply captivating. Every emotion a person holds on to creates an energetic imprint. When emotions like resentment, heartbreak, or insecurity are left unresolved, they do not simply fade away. They linger in the subconscious, shaping behaviors, reactions, and expectations. A woman who has not fully processed her pain might find herself repeating the same relationship patterns, attracting similar kinds of partners, or feeling emotionally stuck despite her desire for change. This is because the subconscious mind is programmed to seek what feels familiar, even if it is unhealthy. Emotional freedom begins with awareness. The moment a woman recognizes that she is not her past, that she is not defined by her previous experiences, she gains the power to choose differently. She understands that her emotions are not permanent states, but passing waves that she can observe, process, and release. One of the most significant barriers to emotional freedom is attachment to old narratives. Many people hold on to painful memories because, in some way, they have become part of their identity. They tell themselves stories about being unworthy, unlucky in love, or destined for heartbreak, and these stories create a cycle that keeps them trapped. But a woman who decides to rewrite her narrative takes control of her emotional state. She stops seeing herself as a victim of her circumstances and instead embraces the idea that she has the power to shift her reality. She begins to choose thoughts that serve her, beliefs that empower her, and emotions that uplift her. This shift is not about suppressing pain, but about transmuting it into wisdom, strength, and growth. Letting go does not mean forgetting or dismissing past experiences. It means freeing oneself from the emotional charge that those experiences once held. It is about releasing resentment, not for the benefit of others, but for the liberation of the self. When a woman forgives, not just others, but herself, she reclaims her energy. She stops replaying past wounds in her mind, stops expecting new relationships to follow old patterns, and instead steps into each moment with openness and trust. This kind of presence is rare, and that rarity is what makes it so captivating. Emotional freedom also manifests in the way a woman responds to external circumstances. Life will always bring challenges, disappointments, and moments of uncertainty, but a woman who is emotionally free does not allow these events to dictate her inner peace. She understands that external situations are temporary, but her inner state is within her control. She does not react impulsively out of fear or insecurity. Instead, she responds with awareness, grace, and wisdom. She knows that no person, no relationship, and no situation has the power to take away her peace unless she allows it. This level of emotional mastery makes her incredibly attractive because it signals strength, resilience, and self-assurance. Another important aspect of emotional freedom is the ability to embrace vulnerability without fear. Many people equate vulnerability with weakness, but in reality, it is one of the most powerful expressions of authenticity. A woman who is emotionally free is not afraid to show her true self. She does not hide behind masks, suppress her feelings, or pretend to be someone she is not in order to gain approval. Instead, she allows herself to be seen fully, her light, her shadows, her dreams, and her fears. This openness creates a space for deep, meaningful connections because it invites others to do the same. people feel safe around her because they sense that she is real, that she is not performing or seeking validation, but simply being. When a woman reaches this level of emotional freedom, she radiates an energy that is both light and deeply grounded. She is not easily shaken by external events, nor does she feel the need to control or force outcomes. She trusts in the flow of life, knowing that everything happens in divine timing and that she is always exactly where she is meant to be. This trust, this ability to surrender while still being fully present, creates an aura of effortless magnetism. She does not chase love, approval, or happiness, she embodies them. And in doing so, she becomes a source of inspiration, warmth, and undeniable attraction to those around her. Love is not just a feeling, but an energy, a frequency that can be cultivated, strengthened, and emitted. A woman who operates from her heart, who radiates kindness, gratitude, and compassion, becomes naturally captivating. Her presence is felt before she even speaks. And people are drawn to her not because of what she does, but because of how they feel in her presence. In a world where many are guarded, skeptical, or emotionally unavailable, a woman who lives with an open heart stands out. She embodies warmth, authenticity, and emotional depth, which creates an irresistible gravitational pull. The heart is more than just an organ. It is a powerful energy center that generates an electromagnetic field far greater than that of the brain. Science has shown that the heart's electromagnetic field can be detected several feet away from the body, meaning that the emotions a woman carries influence the energy she projects into the world. A woman who lives in a state of gratitude, appreciation, and love naturally attracts people and experiences that match her vibration. When she engages with others, she does so with genuine presence, deep listening, and an open spirit. She does not hold back affection, nor does she fear expressing care. This openness makes her interactions deeply fulfilling as people feel truly seen, heard, and valued in her presence. Many people operate from a place of fear, believing that being too open or too loving makes them vulnerable to pain or rejection. But a woman who is heart centered understands that love is not something to be feared, it is the very force that sustains and enriches life. She does not withhold love as a form of protection, nor does she wait for others to prove themselves before she expresses warmth. Instead, she chooses to embody love as a way of being, knowing that love given is never wasted, even if it is not always reciprocated in the way she expects. This approach does not mean she lacks discernment or allows herself to be mistreated. Rather, she loves freely while also maintaining strong boundaries, ensuring that her energy is shared only with those who honor and respect it. Gratitude is one of the most powerful aspects of heart centered living. A woman who cultivates gratitude sees beauty in everyday moments, appreciates the people in her life, and finds joy in the present rather than constantly longing for what is missing. This mindset shifts her entire energy field. Instead of focusing on lack, she focuses on abundance. Instead of dwelling on past disappointments, she sees them as lessons that have shaped her into who she is. Her gratitude is not just expressed in words, but in the way she carries herself, her warmth, her laughter, her ability to find light even in challenging situations. This kind of energy is intoxicating to be around because it uplifts and inspires. Compassion is another key element of a heart centered woman's radiance. She does not judge harshly, nor does she hold onto resentment. She understands that people are often shaped by their own wounds, fears, and experiences, and rather than reacting with anger or bitterness, she chooses empathy. This does not mean she tolerates mistreatment or lacks boundaries. Rather, she approaches life with a deep understanding that love, kindness, and forgiveness are far more powerful than anger and judgment. Her ability to see the good in others, even when they cannot see it themselves, makes her presence healing. People feel safe around her because they know they will not be met with harsh criticism, but with understanding and acceptance. A woman who operates from her heart does not rely on external factors to determine her emotional state. She does not wait for others to treat her with love before she chooses to feel love. She does not depend on circumstances to dictate her happiness. Instead, she generates these feelings from within. Knowing that her emotions are her own responsibility, this inner stability creates an aura of peace and confidence, making her naturally attractive to those who seek genuine connection. Love is the most magnetic force in the universe, and a woman who embodies love in all aspects of her life becomes a beacon for deep, meaningful relationships. Whether in friendships, romantic partnerships, or everyday encounters, her energy leaves a lasting impact. People may not always remember what she says or does, but they will always remember how they felt in her presence. And that feeling, the warmth, the authenticity, the deep sense of connection, is what makes her truly captivating. Love is not just a feeling, but an energy, a frequency that can be cultivated, strengthened, and emitted. A woman who operates from her heart, who radiates kindness, gratitude, and compassion, becomes naturally captivating. Her presence is felt before she even speaks, and people are drawn to her not because of what she does, but because of how they feel in her presence. In a world where many are guarded, skeptical, or emotionally unavailable, a woman who lives with an open heart stands out. She embodies warmth, authenticity, and emotional depth, which creates an irresistible gravitational pull. The heart is more than just an organ, it is a powerful energy center that generates an electromagnetic field far greater than that of the brain. Science has shown that the heart's electromagnetic field can be detected several feet away from the body, meaning that the emotions a woman carries influence the energy she projects into the world. A woman who lives in a state of gratitude, appreciation, and love naturally attracts people and experiences that match her vibration. When she engages with others, she does so with genuine presence, deep listening, and an open spirit. She does not hold back affection, nor does she fear expressing care. This openness makes her interactions deeply fulfilling as people feel truly seen, heard, and valued in her presence. Many people operate from a place of fear, believing that being too open or too loving makes them vulnerable to pain or rejection. But a woman who is heart centered understands that love is not something to be feared, it is the very force that sustains and enriches life. She does not withhold love as a form of protection, nor does she wait for others to prove themselves before she expresses warmth. Instead, she chooses to embody love as a way of being, knowing that love given is never wasted, even if it is not always reciprocated in the way she expects. This approach does not mean she lacks discernment or allows herself to be mistreated. Rather, she loves freely while also maintaining strong boundaries, ensuring that her energy is shared only with those who honor and respect it. Gratitude is one of the most powerful aspects of heart centered living. A woman who cultivates gratitude sees beauty in everyday moments, appreciates the people in her life, and finds joy in the present rather than constantly longing for what is missing. This mindset shifts her entire energy field. Instead of focusing on lack, she focuses on abundance. Instead of dwelling on past disappointments, she sees them as lessons that have shaped her into who she is. Her gratitude is not just expressed in words, but in the way she carries herself. Her warmth, her laughter, her ability to find light even in challenging situations. This kind of energy is intoxicating to be around because it uplifts and inspires. Compassion is another key element of a heart centered woman's radiance. She does not judge harshly, nor does she hold on to resentment. She understands that people are often shaped by their own wounds, fears, and experiences, and rather than reacting with anger or bitterness, she chooses empathy. This does not mean she tolerates mistreatment or lacks boundaries. Rather, she approaches life with a deep understanding that love, kindness, and forgiveness are far more powerful than anger and judgment. Her ability to see the good in others, even when they cannot see it in themselves, makes her presence healing. People feel safe around her because they know they will not be met with harsh criticism, but with understanding and acceptance. A woman who operates from her heart does not rely on external factors to determine her emotional state. She does not wait for others to treat her with love before she chooses to feel love. She does not depend on circumstances to dictate her happiness. Instead, she generates these feelings from within, knowing that her emotions are her own responsibility. This inner stability creates an aura of peace and confidence, making her naturally attractive to those who seek genuine connection. Love is the most magnetic force in the universe, and a woman who embodies love in all aspects of her life becomes a beacon for deep, meaningful relationships. Whether in friendships, romantic partnerships, or everyday encounters, her energy leaves a lasting impact. People may not always remember what she says or does, but they will always remember how they felt in her presence. And that feeling, the warmth, the authenticity, the deep sense of connection is what makes her truly captivating. Confidence is one of the most magnetic qualities a woman can possess. It is not about arrogance or superiority, but rather a deep, unshakable belief in oneself. True confidence is quiet, yet powerful. It is the way a woman moves through the world, how she carries herself, how she speaks, and most importantly, how she perceives her own worth. She does not seek external validation to feel beautiful or desirable because she already knows that her value is intrinsic. A confident woman radiates an energy that is undeniable, one that draws people in effortlessly, not because of how she looks, but because of how she makes others feel in her presence. Many people mistake confidence for perfection, believing that they can only feel secure in themselves once they reach a certain weight, achieve a certain status, or gain approval from others. But true confidence does not come from external circumstances. It comes from within. It is a state of being that is cultivated through self-awareness, self-acceptance, and self-trust. A confident woman is not afraid to take up space, to voice her opinions, to walk into a room with certainty, knowing she belongs there. She does not diminish herself to make others comfortable, nor does she apologize for who she is. She understands that confidence is not about being the loudest person in the room, but about having an undeniable presence, one that does not need to seek attention because it naturally commands it. This kind of confidence is built through self-acknowledge. A woman who knows herself, her strengths, her values, her passions, is unshaken by outside opinions. She does not mold herself to fit expectations or conform to what others think she should be. Instead, she embraces her individuality fully, understanding that her uniqueness is what makes her attractive. She does not compete with other women, nor does she compare herself to unrealistic beauty standards. She understands that true beauty is not found in perfection, but in authenticity. When a woman embraces her quirks, her flaws, and her strengths with equal appreciation, she becomes incredibly captivating. Confidence is also about trust, trusting oneself to make decisions, to handle challenges, to navigate life without constant doubt. A woman who trusts herself does not second-guess every choice or look to others for constant reassurance. She listens to her intuition, she takes risks, she believes in her ability to figure things out. This level of self-trust makes her incredibly attractive because it signals emotional stability. People are drawn to those who exude certainty because that certainty creates a sense of security. In relationships, a confident woman does not cling, chase, or seek approval. She does not need to prove her worth to anyone because she already knows it. This detachment from needing validation allows her to show up fully in love without fear. She is present but not dependent, giving but not self-sacrificing. The way a confident woman carries herself is another testament to her inner state. She moves with purpose, with grace, with a posture that speaks volumes about how she feels about herself. She does not slouch, shrink, or avoid eye contact. She walks with intention, speaks with clarity, and expresses herself with certainty. Her presence is felt when she enters a room, not because she is trying to be noticed, but because she is fully embodying her own power. This is why confidence is so captivating. It is an energy that cannot be faked. It is the result of deep self-work, of choosing every day to believe in oneself, even when faced with challenges or doubts. Confidence also manifests in how a woman responds to rejection or setbacks. She does not crumble when things do not go her way because she does not tie her worth to outcomes. She understands that rejection is not a reflection of her value, but simply a redirection. Instead of internalizing failure, she uses it as fuel for growth. She does not let fear of judgment hold her back from pursuing her dreams, speaking her truth, or expressing her desires. She takes action despite uncertainty, knowing that confidence is built through experience, through trial and error, through the courage to keep moving forward even when things feel uncertain. A woman who embodies confidence does not need to announce it. It is simply felt. It is in the way she smiles, the way she engages with others, the way she exists fully in her own space without feeling the need to prove anything. She does not play small, she does not diminish her light, and she does not seek permission to shine. Instead, she embraces who she is unapologetically, knowing that her presence alone is enough. This self assurance, this deep rooted knowing of her worth, is what makes her truly captivating. Mystery is one of the most captivating qualities a woman can possess. It is not about being distant, evasive, or manipulative, but rather about maintaining an aura of intrigue, depth, and unpredictability. A woman who carries mystery within her does not reveal everything about herself all at once. She allows people to discover her layers over time, keeping them engaged and curious. There is something deeply attractive about a person who cannot be easily defined, someone who seems to have an entire universe within them, waiting to be explored. This kind of mystery is not something that can be faked. It arises naturally from a woman who has cultivated a rich inner world, who is in tune with herself, and who does not feel the need to constantly explain or prove herself to others. Many people make the mistake of believing that attraction comes from oversharing, from giving too much too soon, or from seeking to impress others with personal details and accomplishments. But the most captivating individuals are those who hold something back, not because they are playing games, but because they understand the power of gradual revelation. They know that true connection is built over time through meaningful exchanges, through moments of shared silence, through the slow unfolding of stories and emotions. A woman who embodies mystery does not rush to fill every silence, nor does she feel the need to lay bare every thought and feeling. Instead, she lets things flow naturally, allowing the right people to discover her essence in their own time. Mystery is also about depth, about having a mind, a soul, and a spirit that are constantly evolving. A woman who reads, who explores new ideas, who cultivates passions and interests outside of romantic relationships, naturally becomes intriguing. She is not defined by any one thing. She is a collection of experiences, wisdom, and dreams. This kind of depth cannot be imitated. It is something that grows over time through self-reflection, through curiosity, through a desire to continually learn and expand. People are drawn to those who have layers, who have stories to tell, who have perspectives that challenge the ordinary. When a woman invests in her own personal growth, she automatically becomes more magnetic because she carries an air of unpredictability. There is always something new to discover about her. A mysterious woman is not easily figured out. She does not react impulsively, nor does she allow others to define her. She is confident in her emotions, but does not let them control her. She knows when to speak and when to listen, when to share and when to hold back. This emotional self-mastery creates an allure that is both rare and powerful. Many people struggle with emotional reactivity, responding to situations based on fear, insecurity, or the need for validation. But a woman who has cultivated mystery understands the power of restraint. She does not give away all her emotions at once, nor does she seek constant reassurance. She lets people wonder, lets them lean in, lets them work to understand her deeper layers. Mystery also comes from an element of unpredictability. A woman who is too predictable, too available, or too eager loses some of her intrigue. But a woman who is spontaneous, who follows her own rhythm, who does things that others do not expect, keeps people captivated. She does not follow a script. She does not conform to what is expected of her. She has her own way of doing things, her own way of seeing the world. And this individuality makes her, whether it is the way she laughs at the unexpected, the way she disappears into her own world when she is deep in thought, or the way she surprises people with her perspective, she leaves an impression that lingers. Another element of mystery is the ability to be fully present while remaining unattached. A woman who is too desperate for love, who clings to relationships out of fear of being alone, loses her natural allure. But a woman who enjoys connection while maintaining her own sense of self, who does not seek to possess or be possessed, creates a sense of longing in others. She gives just enough to make people feel special, but not so much that they feel they completely own her. She remains her own person, no matter how deep the connection. Ultimately, mystery is not about withholding love or affection. It is about maintaining an essence that cannot be fully captured. A woman who has mastered this does not need to try to be interesting. She simply is. She is constantly growing, evolving, deepening, and because of this, she remains endlessly fascinating. People never feel like they have completely figured her out, and that is what makes them keep coming back, eager to learn more. Attraction is not about seeking approval, nor is it about following rules or playing games. It is about embodying an energy so magnetic that love cannot help but find you. A truly captivating woman is not defined by how she looks, but by how she makes others feel in her presence. She radiates confidence without arrogance, love without fear, mystery without pretense, and strength without aggression. She knows her worth not because the world tells her so, but because she has done the inner work to believe it for herself. When a woman leads with her heart, cultivates her confidence, and remains rooted in her own truth, she becomes irresistible, not just to others, but to life itself. Love, opportunities, and deep connections naturally flow to those who vibrate at the frequency of self love, authenticity, and emotional mastery. She does not chase love, she attracts it. She does not seek validation, she is validation. And that is the secret. When you become the source of the love you seek, the world reflects it back to you effortlessly. So step into your power, embrace your essence, and trust that everything you desire is already on its way to you. Good luck, and thank you for being here today.